Every NBA player's rise to stardom is unique in its own way, and as quick as they become a household name, they can also have that wiped away. In today's video, we're going to be going over NBA players who lost thousands of fans. NBA players rise throughout the ranks of the NBA and continue to get more and more popular, some honestly even on the same tier as celebrities in terms of fame and riches. All of that can quickly be wiped away by one questionable decision, and those are the players we're going to be going over in today's video. Hey, do you guys want to win a PS5 with Madden NFL 21 and NBA 2K21? We'll be announcing the winner as soon as they come out, so be sure to leave a like, comment, subscribe, and turn on notifications to enter the giveaway. LeBron James. LeBron James himself is easily the most popular player in the NBA, and definitely the most criticized. Questionable decisions that he actually makes in-game or off the court, or maybe in an interview, however it may actually happen, has definitely caused him thousands of fans. For example, when he actually made his decision to leave the Cleveland Cavaliers to join the Miami Heat back in 2010, it made a lot of criticism come out of nowhere. Obviously, he was a great player, but living up to the hype of Michael Jordan didn't seem like it was actually going to happen. He was a great individual player, but at the same time, with the team he was on, they were not winning anything and only made the NBA Finals once. So with that being said, as the situation developed and he covered his decision to depart from Cleveland in a monetary gaining way, he received so much backlash for this. The city of Cleveland honestly made him public enemy #1, and we're continuing to burn his jerseys, bash him for the next couple of years, and he eventually won NBA championships alongside Miami, then proved that was the best decision of his career, winning multiple championships with Miami, and then eventually fulfilled his promise of returning to Cleveland after he actually gained some of that trust and love back and brought them an NBA championship as well. Luckily, when LeBron had left Cleveland, once again, he did not get as much backlash as he did before due to the championship he brought to his hometown, and the players beside him were simply not enough to beat his ultimate opponent, the Golden State Warriors. At the same time, there were some very loyal Cavs fans that were heartbroken once again, which caused LeBron to lose thousands of fans once again. Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant's decision to depart from OKC and Russell Westbrook and join the Golden State Warriors, in which just won 73 games the previous season and actually came back 3-1 on the Thunder themselves, will probably go down as the weakest move in NBA history, if we're being honest. Now, I don't really necessarily criticize him for this, because at the end of the day, it's all about where your career stands and what you feel is the best decision to make. At the end of the day, he felt that playing alongside Russell Westbrook, they weren't going to get any further than they did, and they were not going to win an NBA championship together, especially with so many teams starting to form such a core that it was hard to keep up with. But with that being said, him leaving and not necessarily even telling Russell Westbrook his decision before it actually happened is what caused a lot of backlash. He didn't really let anyone know the decision, especially OKC, and he kind of just left them to join a championship contender by leaving an already championship contender, but joining the team that had beaten him. Now, LeBron James did get criticized a lot for when he did a similar situation, joining the Miami Heat, but he didn't join a team that was already one of the best teams in the league and that just beat him. Kevin Durant did. He joined a 73-win Golden State Warriors and a team that was the best in the NBA the previous year. Kevin Durant quickly became a public enemy of the NBA. People were actually going as far as claiming that he ruined the future of the league, but just as LeBron James did, he didn't fall into the hate and criticism. He proved that that was the best decision to make, winning an NBA championship immediately. Kyrie Irving. Kyrie himself has not really necessarily had the chance to prove himself as of yet, but in the summer of 2017, he actually left the Cleveland Cavaliers by demanding a trade. Not just requesting it, but demanding it, saying he no longer wanted to play alongside LeBron James anymore, and was eventually traded to the Boston Celtics. Now we saw how the season went. Kyrie did, exceptionally well, I guess, but they did end up losing to the Cleveland Cavaliers. Kyrie himself does have a lot on his shoulders and a lot to prove. The criticism was unreal at the time. People couldn't believe why he would want to go to basically be the individual, rather than play on a team-oriented franchise of the Cleveland Cavaliers. But basically, it was all up to him. He's really got to prove everybody wrong, especially this year, playing for the Nets, with whom we mentioned earlier, Kevin Durant. Later on in the season with the Celtics, Kyrie had said at the time over the past couple months, since this trade went down, that he was proud of what he did. There's no looking back, and he's accepting the future. But honestly, he simply needs to step it up, especially next season when he's with the Nets. Most NBA fans are expecting a lot from the superstar duo, but as far as losing fans, he definitely has lost a lot of fans, bouncing from one team to another. Leaving the Cleveland Cavaliers just demanding a trade, leaving LeBron James behind out of nowhere, definitely caused a lot of shock and concern. At the same time, Cleveland kind of made him a public enemy at his time in Boston, though not as harsh as LeBron, of course, but he was definitely hated by many. Paul George. Now, Paul George himself hasn't really had the opportunity to prove himself as one of the greats in today's NBA, although we did see his laughable performance in Game 7 against the Nuggets of the Western semifinals. He still is only 30 years old and has plenty of years ahead of him. We've witnessed Paul George get eliminated in the playoffs more than we can imagine. Not only that, but on different teams. He simply cannot find the route to a ring, and the people that usually stop him are LeBron, Lillard, and the unbeatable 3-1 Nuggets. With that being said, when he Lakers, he at first wanted to go to Los Angeles, but that didn't end up happening. But it easily could have, and you never know. Maybe it could happen in the future. As we all know, he was later traded to the OKC Thunder. Now don't get me wrong, this was a great opportunity for Paul George, but unfortunately, as we all know, who got in his way and sent him to another team? Now with Indiana being Paul George's original team, and the way he just left them all behind, demanding a trade from them, that's not going to sit well with any sort of fan in any sort of league. Paul George definitely lost thousands of fans making the move. It showed that he was kind of unloyal as well, to be honest, which we would see later on in his career leaving OKC, and of course joining the LA Clippers. Dwayne Wade. Now, Dwayne Wade had quite a career going into year 16 and retiring. Getting drafted in 2003 alongside LeBron James and Carmelo Anthony, they all came in. Throughout his career, he never really gave fans a reason to be criticized in any way, shape, or form. He was extremely loyal to the Miami Heat organization, bringing them 3 NBA championships, solidifying himself as one of the best shooting guards of all time. But as his career was coming to an end, he kind of put himself in a predicament that caused controversy and questions towards his loyalty towards franchises. Now he was dedicated to Miami throughout his entire career, as I said, but he was also suffering from some injuries in his last playing years. Now, they didn't want to offer him such a max contract to the point where they felt like they were wasting money. They wanted to pair him with what they felt like they deserved, but he felt personally that they were insulting him by what they offered. He felt he deserved a lot more money, in which he actually took his talents to free agency and signed with the Chicago Bulls. Many people question this situation because playing for the Miami Heat throughout his entire career, it didn't seem like he was that type of player that would be greedy, but he kind of proved everybody wrong and simply just didn't want to be in that situation. As far as whether it was the money or his relationship with Pat Riley or the owners in general, nobody really ended up knowing the real reasoning behind all of it at the time. But one thing's for sure, he left Miami behind, so that definitely faced a lot of criticism, which cost him thousands of fans. But as we all know, he did end up going back and finishing his career there. Stephen Curry. Now, Stephen Curry himself is arguably one of the best players in the NBA right now, and also arguably one of the greatest shooters of all time, if not the greatest. Now that he's recovered from his devastating injury that cost the Warriors their 2019 to 2020 season, he will be back and ready to go for the following 2020 to 2021 season. Though he's usually put into the greatest shooter of all time argument, it doesn't exempt him from conflict, criticism, and controversy. There's actually many reasons as to why he lost fans at one point or another. First thing being underperforming in the NBA Finals. As somebody that's as great as Stephen Curry doesn't show up in the NBA Finals on the biggest stage, definitely caused him to lose thousands of fans due to not performing under the pressure, and with especially his wife Ayesha Curry actually tweeting the NBA is rigged, saying that's the reason the Cavaliers came back 3-1. That definitely caused a lot of controversy, and definitely lost Stephen Curry some fans, which she quickly deleted the tweet right after that. And even Kevin Durant, being recruited by Stephen Curry to actually come and join the Golden State Warriors, made people lose respect for Stephen Curry himself, making him seem like he can't carry the Warriors past LeBron James. Now, whether or not his tattoo symbolically represents something that would cause fans to basically disrupt, or his style of play in general, it really comes down to the fact that he's got a lot to prove. He's still somewhat at the beginning of his career, and we're gonna have to wait for the future. Let us know who we missed on this list in the comments down below.